using the area model and partial product to solve multiplication. We remember that partial product means that you're getting part of the answer to a multiplication problem. So we're going to do a review really quickly of what partial product is. So we have our first problem, which is 437 times 5. The first thing we want to do is we want to multiply our ones with 7 ones times 5. We know that that is 35. We write 35, we know that's 3 tens and 5 ones. And then we have 3 tens, which is 30, times 5. We know that 3 times 5 is 15. And 3 tens times 5 is 15 tens, or 150. So 35 would be a partial product. It's part of the answer. 150 is a partial product as well. And then we have 400 times 5. Well, we know that 4 times 5 is 20. 400 times 5 is 20 hundredths. So I want to write 20. And then I know that hundreds has 2 zeros. So I'm going to add those zeros here. So I have my partial products here, all 3 of these. And now I'm going to add them all together to get the actual answer to the multiplication, or the actual product. So I know that 5 ones plus 0 ones plus 0 ones is 5. 3 tens plus 5 tens plus 0 is 8 tens. 100 plus 0 is 1. And 2 thousands is 2 thousands. And here's my comma. Well, the area model is very similar to the partial product method. Remember, the area is the surface area of a shape. That means the top of it. And we count it by the total square units that take up the space. So that's how we figure it out. The formula is length times width. Remember, the long part is the length and the short part is the width. So if we were using the area model to figure out this multiplication, we would use 5 as our width because that's the shortest part. Now, this requires us to take apart the number 400 plus 3 tens plus 7. When we do that, we can break up our problem with 3 rectangles. So if 400 is the length of this first rectangle, and you can see it's a little bit longer. And if I do 400 times 5, I get 20 hundredths, or 2,000. Same thing. I'm going to move this down a bit. And if I do the second one, I can see that I have 5, because that's still my width, times 30. I know that, and I have the answers right here. It's 150, so I can write that inside to show the area. This last part would be 5 times 7. I already know it. It's 35. And then I could add those areas together. Now, instead of writing out 3 different rectangles, you could combine all of your rectangles together in one by having the width 500, the area of the first part be 400, the second part be 30, and the third part be 7. And then still do the same method. So when you do this, you can see that if you add 2,000 plus 150 plus 35, you still get a total area of 2,185. If the question is specifically asking you about units or what square units, then you can add a label here at the end. And that is using area to solve multiplication problems and comparing it to partial product.